I think I also found it interesting that, they really want Mason Rudolph back. We've heard that from the owner and from Mike as well, but now, Omar said it as well. So I know it's kind of boring. I know people want them to sign Russell Wilson or Justin Fields or Kirk Cousins, but it looks like it's full speed ahead with Kenny and, Mason likely coming back if they can get a deal done.
Wow.
You think likely is the word there?
Likely is the word there?
Well, I think, the Steelers have reached out to his agent, so the ball is already rolling. The legal tampering period isn't that far away. I think it's March 11th, so that's less than 2 weeks away. So this news is going to start happening here. And, if Mason is amenable to coming back, if they can agree on the numbers, and he has assurances that, he could have a role as potentially a starter if he beats out Kenny, then I think this is a great opportunity for Mason to be a starter. I don't know where else Mason Rudolph could go where he could compete for a starting job. And I think that's what Mason wants at this point in his career. Now, listen, if somebody else comes out of the blue, maybe the Raiders, I don't know, maybe somebody offers him more money, then, yeah, he could certainly leave. But I kind of see the Steelers as his best option to be a starter given the circumstances.
I think the biggest thing there is there any concern, Ray, among the Steelers brass that if you bring back Mason Rudolph, that means that you run the risk of maybe dividing your locker room? If Kenny Pickett falters and some guys still say, hey, look at what Mason Rudolph did at the end of the season, then what?
Yeah, listen, I think if Kenny Pickett shrinks or wilts under competition like that or in the face of adversity, then they know right then that he's not the guy for the future. So I think it's a make or break season for Kenny in that regard. And I don't think the Steelers should be afraid of any kind of competition for him, and whether it's, within the locker room or on the practice field or, anything like that. So, they'll do what's best for this football team. They did what's best for this football team with a week to go in the regular season. Kenny Pickett was healthy enough to return. I think he thought he was going to return, but they stuck with a hot hand. So they did what was best for the Steelers football team then, and I think in the future, if Mason Rudolph beats out Kenny Pickett or if Kenny Pickett has a bad start to the season, I don't think there would be any hesitation to go to Rudolph if he's on the roster in 24.